Well, hello, and welcome, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for February 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very, very happy to be serving you today. If you're new to my channel, please do like and subscribe as I'm making my way to 1,000 subscribers, so I can do super live chat and other cool stuff like junk tarot. Links are in the box below if you want to know about all that. Please do check out my description box. I give a good description box, and it's deep. There's some deep stuff down there, and I know Scorpios, you like deep. I can give it. I got a Pisces moon. But let's get down to business. This is a general read for the Path of True Love, so it's not going to fit everybody all the time, which is why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for any of the relationship stuff. When I'm doing a zodiacal series, I always at least do Sun, Moon, and Rising. But Path of True Love, Twin Flame, and Soulmate readings seem to be what people want the most of, so I've been extending them, getting them better and better each time, getting new guidance. Like this time we are doing the Celtic crossbred. So if you just, be kind, take what resonates, check your other signs. I'm keeping them fun and enjoyable and informative. You should see the spiritual practice I go through before I do these. In fact, I am going to tape a blessing of the cards at some point so people can see what I do every single time, pretty much, before I do a reading, which I think, Scorpios, you like the mysticism, you like to see what's going on behind the scenes. Cool. That being said, this is a Path of True Love reading, and as it says in the description box, Path of True Love is your path. Yes, it's about relationships, absolutely. It's about becoming true love. It's about becoming the unconditional love that we already are. So you could call it the hero's journey, or your spiritual path, your healing path, your warrior's path, however you want to see that for yourself, but all through the lens of your relationships as the lessons and experiences you need to become that which you already are, divine eternal spirit. And just to remind me, so I say this pretty much now every time, when they asked Michelangelo, not the Ninja Turtle children, the artist, right, how he sculpted the David, he said, I did not sculpt the David. God created the David, I just removed the excess marble, and what a good job he did. That's what the Path of True Love is. You're already divine. You're already divine love. But you got other stuff other than divine love, as we all do in physical form. So that's what the Path of True Love is. So yeah, there are soulmates and twin flames and all that kind of stuff going on, but this is about you, which I think it's an essential reading to have that kind of bearing when dealing with relationships of all different shapes, sizes, and kinds, which is why we are doing the Celtic Cross. My favorite spread. I did a video on it clarifying the Celtic Cross, how I read it, because it's a little different from reader to reader. There is a link to that video that I made just for these, but now everybody knows how I do Celtic Cross. It's usually what I do with a one-on-one client, private client anyway. So if you want to book me, my info's in the box below too. Cool. Last thing is probably the most important. Please remember to breathe. The more conscious we are of the breath, partnering with our breath, inspiration through respiration, the more tuned in, tapped in, turned on we are to the present moment where the divine is. And that's where the information, the guidance, and the grace is coming through for these readings. So if I'm doing it and you're doing it, though we are separated by linear time and space, we're tuning to that same still point where the divine resides. So you're getting the reading as a listener and an intuitive feeling the information. I'm just translating it through divination system and word. Cool. Symbiotic. Let's do this. Take a nice deep breath, my Scorpios. Find the still point. Still point. My deities, my goddesses, my gods, please, top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, for this Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the Path of True Love for February 2020, please. Just top 10 cards, Celtic Cross. We will clarify with the angel cards. This is Daughters of the Moon Tarot. All the decks I read are in the bottom of the description box. Give credit where credit is due. My gods, whenever you're ready. Top 10 cards. Scorpio Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, February 2020. Path of True Love, please. Okay, clean cut, please. Clean cut, clean cut. Maiden, yes. Mother. See, that wouldn't be a clean cut, but it doesn't matter. We've got more than 10 cards on the bottom there, so that's sort of obligatory. Maiden, Mother, Crown. Good, good, good. We got our top 10. We will be clarifying this with the angels, Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue, pulling a Whisper of Love Oracle card, and a Healing Mantra card for you at the end. Cool, cool. So 22 cards total. Let's get into this gig. First card down, what covers you? Represents the significator, the person being read. In this case, you, my Scorps. What covers you? Well, out of the gate with the Major Arcana card, the Empress, Mawu, giving birth on the back of an elephant. This is the ultimate divine feminine card, but definitely has that earthy feel to it, certainly. Although the Empress is the amalgamation of all the queens in the tarot, I'm down with that. There is a very strong Venus energy here too, but not Venus as necessarily Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, running around in a see-through nightie, but Venus as mother, as Taurus. There's a very strong Taurus energy there about pregnancy and giving birth, fertility, right? So great card to start off with. And I'm going to get more cards out because I can feel the depth of this one for you, the divine feminine. It really feels like, though there's the emotional aspect of that I can feel going on here, there's something very physical, nurturing, healing, good feeling going on. We'll get that, but that's you, and you are represented. The first card down is a Major Arcana. It really says to take note that you're going through a major place in your life. The Major Arcanas are places, right? The minor are things, and the court cards are often people, though they can be zodiacal archetypes of all sorts of stuff too. So that being said, interesting start. What is the cross? What is it that the environment that you are moving through? What crosses to help or hinder? Another Major Arcana card, but now we've got Coyote Woman, which is half of the Devil card in this deck, the other half being oppression. So how interesting, 2 Major Arcana cards at the center of a Celtic cross spread. It says, buckle your seatbelts. I don't care what the 2 Major Arcana cards are, this is a big deal. This is a big deal for the month of February 2020, or timeless whenever you are watching this. That you are represented by the goddess herself and feeling like the goddess in body. Now, you can be a guy, you can be a male. We're talking about divine feminine energy here. We're feeling depth and fertility and creativity. And remember, the language of pregnancy is the language of artistic creativity or any other kind. You conceive an idea, like you conceive a baby. You gestate it. It grows inside of you. You contemplate. It builds. You build your creativity. The baby grows and grows. Gestation. You labor, right? You crank it out, put it out there into the world. Then it takes a life of its own and does its own thing, and you nurture it, right? So that's a career. That's creativity as well as a baby. There's all sorts of manifestations that way. But Major Arcana, honey, this is the goddess. That's mama. That's the spirit of life itself, but in the more harder to see form, the more yin than the yang, right? Crossed with the coyote, often the saboteur, the trickster. But let's keep in mind, every pantheon has its trickster. Right, Loki in the Norse, and Hermes in the Greek, and Mercury in the Roman, same god, right? We could go. I mean, I love mythology. If I could speak it all day long, I would. Try something different every now and again, Mark. Right? It's a good thing. But a trick is being played. But Major Arcana means that there's a lesson here, but often the lesson is to laugh. Look. Wile E. Coyote, super genius, right? Thinks he has all the stats, right? All the angles figured out, always bites him in the ass, right? So this is absolutely a card of self-sabotage, or being a saboteur, or being sabotaged. Usually, because this is in the second position, we're looking at an environment where there's a major life decision involved. Because usually these are decisions of empowerment where the saboteur archetype within us, in its lead, in its shadow, it's called the saboteur. In its light or in its golden side, I call it the empowerer. This is a situation about you empowering yourself or someone else, or someone's empowering you. Only first two cards down, but major arcana, don't worry, we got systems to go deeper into this. But for right now, we are off to one heck of a start. What's going on at the core? Now, not just the subconscious and the unconscious, the soul. I mean like the real deep stuff inside of you. Divinity isn't necessarily always in the sky. It's immanent too. It is within us. You're the voice of your intuition. The seat of the soul, usually considered second chakra, not always just like the heart and the crown, right? Seat of the soul, that kind of groove thing, soul thing, right? Second chakra. Major arcana card. Wheel of Fortune, the Spider Woman. Some kind of cyclic change, a change in the destiny and the fate of things, right? The divine timing playing itself out. What is going on in this reading, Scorpio? 3 cards down, 3 major arcana, the Empress, the Devil, and Wheel of Fortune. Of all the cards that can come up, now look, this is too big right now for me to go into detail. It's like seeing a mountain but this far away. It's just like you can't see the whole thing. That's too much at once. Let's keep going. I want to see what's in the past that at least leads up to this. And if this is another major arcana card, baby, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, it's not. But interestingly enough, it is the Eight of Pentacles, the learner. Usually the learner through experience, I'm hearing on this one in particular, that a lesson has been learned, or at least a lesson has been acknowledged. Okay, in the recent past, that's the position number 4, is what's before you. Sorry, what happened before, right? Sorry, no, this is behind. What's in your behind before is what's before you on the path. Sorry, I'm screwing up my own words. Why? Because this is really wild. This is very uncommon. I jumbled up the order there. But the Eight of Pentacles, you're used to seeing it as like putting your head down, getting the work done. This is a crone working with a maiden, teaching her how to weave a blanket with blankets that she's already woven, shown in the distance, right? So kind of say, I have done this before. I have done this before. So if there's any kind of mentorship that you are coming out of in the recent past, that is what brings you. Well, you are the goddess. The situation, though, because this is the 4 and the 2, the even cards are related. This is past, the learner. This is future. An environment, second position, an environment, what crosses you is about some kind of life-changing decision where you have to empower yourself. You may not know how to do that. But then again, what is the point of learning something without there being a test, right? This could be a test you're going through right now, but I wouldn't say pass-fail test as much as I would say like litmus test, like pH balance test. It's not necessarily 100% pass or 100% fail. It's sort of like, well, where are you, right? Like if you have to be so high, so tall to ride the ride, right? It's like, well, you can keep coming back until you're eventually there. So yeah, it's not a complete total pass-fail. It's almost like a temperature test. Is it done? Like stick a toothpick in it. Does it come out clean? That kind of, it's like, nope, give it another 10 minutes. That sort of feel to it. But it's time. See, that's the thing with the Wheel of Fortune. It's a soul thing. You don't have control over this. This was all written, including whatever got you here is totally woven into the web. Really, everything's part of the quantum field of oneness of all that is. It's all part of the hologram of life on this planet. All part of unity consciousness, all part of the divine plan. But whatever it is that you are learning or have learned is what leads you into this. So this has, like the gods are at work in your life. Whatever you want to call them, the gods, the angels, the higher powers, whatever, the force, have midichlorians or whatever, like have at it, but something's at work in your life. That's a lot of major arcana cards. First 4 positions, I usually say to private clients, tells me where you are and where you've been. And I can see where you've been, a learning thing, But yeah, if this was a private client, I would stop here right now and start grabbing other decks from behind me. But we're not going to do that. You want that, you got to book me. Where are you going? Next, in terms of the fifth position, the crown, what's being born, what's being incarnated? Think of like receiving an inspiration through the crown, hitting the third eye, the throat, the heart, all the way down into form to the tips of your toesies, right? Grounding that in. What's coming in through the crown? Well, we've got the Five of Blades, the hurricane. The hurricane. Now, fives, people don't like the fives, and I get why. They are turbulent, particularly a hurricane, but they are numbers of change, right? So if a breath is a thought, what's a hurricane? It's a lot of thought. It's a brainstorm. Remember, air is the element of thought and the mind. So what's coming in now are all of these thoughts. Now, particularly because we have so much major arcana cards coming here, it makes sense that the next thing that would come in is the mind would try to process. Though you are a Scorpio, yeah, of course you're going to use your mind. You're going to try and be logical, but be careful of too much data. Sometimes too many options brings us to a place of apathy where all we can do is the only thing that's wise to do is stand in the center of the eye of the hurricane until it all calms down, until it all relaxes. Particularly, and this is something that we all struggle with until we realize what it is, the toxicity of the well-meaning. Look, I love that people want to help. Really, it's a human instinct. It's compassion. It's the heart. It's love. Always wants to extend itself. But when people give you their story as a cautionary tale, or they worry, well, I worry about you. You know what you should do? No, but you're going to tell me anyway, right? It's they pass on, I don't want to say like a virus, but they do pass on their care and concern with a little piece of toxicity, sometimes a lot of piece of toxicity with it that we can really ingest, and it's not our own, and it's not necessarily us following our own authentic truth. But in the hurricane, if you're willing to gather information, what I say to people is, thank you, I'll consider that. Well, I learned that from my stepfather, thank you, I'll take that under consideration. Lawyer, raised by a lawyer, right? So to stand in the eye of the hurricane while everything else swirls around you is wise. Now, of course, we're going to lay angels down on top of this. So, you know, if there's Archangel Michael, which is the only archangel in that deck, that's going to really say something different about that. So just feeling a whole lot of thought and a whole lot of changing of thought, but almost too much too fast. Very much too fast. Makes sense with all of this power going on here. Let's go to the sixth position, which will give us our future. In the past, we've got the learner. In the present, we've got the coyote woman. In the future, we've got the Virgo card. So we've got something earthy here for you. Now, could this be a Virgo? Maybe, maybe not. When it comes to court cards, yes, they usually represent people, but even if they represent people, they don't necessarily represent only the sign. In other words, oh, well, I was supposed to get the Virgo card, but they were a Taurus. It's like, no, they represent sixth house Virgo energy. So I would look up sixth house. I am a Virgo. You lucked out. Sixth house is about occupation and health. What you are occupied with affects your health. It just does, right? Everybody thinks occupation, because Virgo is the servant of the zodiac, that it's about what you do from 9 to 5 or what you do for a living or what you do as a service. Well, that takes up a lot of our time. It occupies a lot of our time. So of course what we do for a living affects our health, but also what is occupying, come here, your mind, right? What's occupying the mind? What is occupying this coyote, right? What is in this situation? The decision that you have to make. Can you make an empowering decision? My sense is this lesson is that you are learning how to make more empowering decisions rather than sabotorial ones. So that's why I feel like this one, that's why there's so many thoughts and philosophies, and how do I do this? And should I go with my intuition, or wait, let me get another reading, or you know, it's a lot. You are learning how to do that. So remember, there is a learning curve, and there's a divine timing. Wheel of Fortune thing going on here. It's all woven into the divine plan. You're safer than you think. Don't freak out, particularly with this in your future. It says that there is healing here, but get occupied with your healing. What is the healing aspect of this? Can you make a healing decision? Now, there are two questions just pop into mind, and I got this from Matt Kahn. One question he says always ask is, what would love do? In fact, I think he's got a video on YouTube. Matt Kahn, we're going to use his mantra deck, last card down. What would love do? What would love do? Like, what would love do, right? The other one is like, what's healthy? Well, what is healthy? And if you don't know, you don't got to make that decision right then and there, right? You can pull back and say, all right, no. If the coyote's going on here, it's too easy to be tricked. Now, sometimes the situation looks one way, is another, because we're being tricked into making a life-changing decision. In other words, it may look like a choice. You want to know a choice? I got myself a little bucket of chocolate chip cookies today from Stop and Shop. I don't do sugar that often, but every couple of weeks ago, and my inner child says, we've been working really hard, I want cookies. I'm like, all right, sweetheart, like, I am the parent of my heart chakra. Now, that was a choice. I've already had like 6 or 7 of them. They are absolutely delicious. That will have a consequence one way or the other. Yes, I could work out, I could do my yoga, I could go for a run, I could not eat sugar for a week, and that would, like, you know, purge the sugar from my cells and all of that. But that's a choice. A decision is, that's it. Screw YouTube, screw reading, screw mysticism. I'm becoming a cookie baker. That's a life-changing decision, right? That would be a little sabotorial to me right now if all of a sudden I gave it all up for cookies, although looking like this, I ain't giving up shit. If I had to look like this at 51, I'm going to be 52 years old, right? So a life-empowering decision, you're coming into a place, this is a learning curve you're being given, that there's something that serves here. What is loving? What would love do? And what is healing? What would be healing here? Because it's all scripted. It's time for you to learn this and do this, and most likely heal something as a result. Beautiful microcosm. Let's go to your macro. Let's look at the more universal stuff. Position number 7. What's the lesson? Your lesson. What are you learning? And it's the Scorpio card. Yay! I love when that happens, when I'm reading a sign and here's your sign. Oh my God, I just engvalled you. Woo! Time travel to the 90s. This is money, sex, and power. This is other people's resources. This is the goddess Hecate in the underworld, right inside the cave, right? A couple of steps down from the upper world. There she is. Decisions, right? Goddess of the crossroads. Goddess of witches. This lesson is about decisions. And look, it can be hidden. You're Scorpio. You can be making this all behind the scenes. Nobody needs to be doing this. Maybe this is a decision of the soul. Maybe it is time for you to cut and run, or make some life-changing decision that is scheduled time for it, and will be occupying your time. Now, just to clarify, in the Rider-Waite Tarot, really, so many cards have it, the Virgo card is the Knight of Pentacles, and of the 4 knights, it is the slowest moving. So slow and steady wins the race. Keep that in mind. This need not be done overnight, but you are certainly in a position where at least the possibility of sabotage is there. And even if someone is trying to disempower you, what's the decision you're going to make? Because at the end of the day, that's yours. That's yours. This lesson is about you, not about what other people do. One would think, right? Scorpio, 8th house, money, sex, power, other people's resources, and even that depth of intuition that touches into mysticism, right? To feel something going on, revealing secrets, keeping secrets, the whole Scorpio 9 yards. And I can't shake that Hecate, Queen of the Crones, Goddess of the Crossroads. Just can't shake that right now. With that card of the coyote, be careful. Be careful with your decision-making process. Yeah, because it's going to be occupying your mind, occupying your life, and affecting your health in one way or another. What would love do? What is healing? All right, there's your lesson. 8th position, from the outside looking in, how the world sees you horizontally. Not necessarily how you are. Can be just how people perceive you, right? Well, interesting. 8 of Flames, burnout. Now, again, in the Rider-Waite deck, it's a lovely card. We all like it, right? It's like the 8 of Wands soaring through the air. Yay! Are they landing or taking off? Usually they're getting ready to land. forward movement, fast moving, right? That will, that fire, that desire with momentum behind it. Here we've got the card of burnout, which is still about fast moving fire. Like I hate the image. I'm such a past life dryad and druid. I really am. I love trees as much as I love the beach. I wouldn't want to live in a forest, but I kind of do where I am on Long Island. I live in Holbrook, the mountainous region of Long Island. There are no mountains on Long Island, just a lot of trees. So a forest fire, I hate that image, but with all the dry stuff on the ground, it moves fast, right? So from the outside looking in, there's a lot of fast movement here, at least a fast passion, or perhaps anger or drive, right? There's another word there. What is that other word? Almost like charging ahead. Fury, but not necessarily the anger kind of fury, that passionate fury, like, oh, I love them with a fury, I want this with a fury, right? Very, very intense from the outside looking in. Now, maybe that's part of this saying, slow it down. Slow it down. With that Virgo card particular. And you know what? Sure, this could be a person, someone there to serve you, to help you heal, but so can there be someone, a number of people helping you with this Scorpio card in the lesson position as well. Now, keep in mind, you've got the lesson in the past, but in your lesson with your own sign there, you might have to really embody it, make it your own. Okay, all right, you want me to do this? All right. People talk about the book, The Four Agreements. Yes, I read The Four Agreements, my God, back in the early 2000s, I think. But then people will take things personally. Now, if you're not familiar with the book, The Four Agreements, I think it's the second one. The first one is be impeccable with your speech. Fuck that. Sorry, it's just a joke. I think the first one is don't take anything personally. So if I know someone has read the book, like we've talked about it, and I'll watch them, they'll tell me about something that's going on that they're totally taking personally that has nothing to do with them. I'll say, well, what about the Four Agreements? And they're like, oh, I love that book. I'm like, yeah, but the fourth agreement is do your best, and here's the opportunity. And sometimes I get really pissed when you say that, which, yeah, pointing out what people are doing wrong isn't the best way, and that's not how I roll usually anyway. But you know what I mean? Like, I notice that. This is an opportunity for you to really embody what you've learned, this situation. Will you empower or disempower yourself or another? Because with this fast movement, this eight of... And you know, if it really is, as the card says, burnout, that people just see you as so overcommitted, right? Like you say, oh, here's sabotage for you. Saying yes when your gut says no. Saying you'll do it when your tank is empty, right? What's left? Burnout. That's all that's left. The engine's going to seize, right? You have the opportunity to empower yourself so that maybe this healing won't occupy so much of your time and energy. Just saying, you are at a crossroads, my darlings. Major life decision, not just maybe one thing, but a major life decision about who you want to be and how you want to go on the path of true love. Yeah, this is about relationships. People might be asking you to do things that you just really not even don't want to do. Maybe you don't want to, but don't have it in you right now, or maybe ever again. That's the thing. There's certain things people can ask me to do. If I can really do it, I will always give it my best. But if my gut says no, the answer is no. Has to be that way. Because if I go against this, there's no one to blame but me. It's self-sabotage. That doesn't mean other people can't be trying to sabotage me. That's why I have to listen to this. This should, if it does bring me into a place where I'm sabotaged, then that was part of the divine plan. I needed to experience that for whatever purpose the divine has. But if I go against that, I've already sabotaged myself. Just saying, right? Destiny, the 9th position. Not fate, but destiny. This card is not going to show you what your destiny is in this situation, but where you are on the hero's journey of alchemizing the fate which you cannot change into the destiny, your highest potential. Interesting. 2 of Flames. The 2 of Wands, sort of like indecision. You know, people will say, the 2 of Swords is indecision. I think that as analysis is going back and forth in the mind. A decision is usually about something desired. So for me, that's always been more fire. It's like, well, do I want to do this or do I want to do this? If you've got the Ace of Flames, that creativity, that urge, it's like, well, what do you want for dinner tonight? Not what do you think for dinner? What do you feel? Well, you could say, what do you feel for dinner tonight? Maybe that is elemental water a little different. But usually it's fire. It's like, what do you want? Do you want Chinese food, or do you want pizza? Do you want this? Do you want that? Right? It's that, oh, I don't know. Too many options, by the way, hits apathy quickly, right? And that's the thing too. It feels like that there's so much information coming in with this hurricane, this Five of Blades, that it might be a little bit like as soon as you start to lean a certain way, another option appears, right? The apathy of options. It's a good Matt Kahn video. Go check it out. Because it's true, if you just go to a wedding and they say, you know, chicken, steak, or fish, or vegetable option, you're going to be more satisfied than if they give you a menu of 10,000 different things, because you're going to feel like you're missing out on something. That's how it is. That's not the foundation of that truth, but it's a good chunk of it, right? So your destiny right now is to kind of not know what to do in terms of a decision, right? In terms of what you want, but to go through that process. Now, this is just download came in. Look, no one was ever rewarded for not knowing. So sometimes how we sabotage ourselves is we get so uncomfortable with uncertainty that we'll just do anything, right? Rather than wait for that moment. Because it's really true. If there's something I get the intuitive hit to do, nothing can stop me. If I'm a little waffly on it, I'm like, at least not now, right? Like a litmus test, really. Just like seeing where you are in all of that. And being honest with yourself. That's what feels like is going on here in terms of your destiny, where you are on the path of true love, right? Hang in there. Don't have to jump right now. Slow it down seems to be going on here. Last card down for this layer, right? Then we're going to go for the angel cards. What's your outcome? Keeping in mind that this Virgo card, number 6 and number 10, no matter what it is, well, usually there's some flexibility to it, not necessarily written in stone. Three of Blades, which in this deck is not heartbreak, it's focus. It's about mind. It's about, well, I never really understood. I mean, yeah, I guess Rider Waite, you know, there's a heart with 3 swords driven through the center of it, but the heart's not broken and it's not bleeding. It's almost like focusing on the heart of the matter is what I feel that symbolism is. It's just me. Here, definitely it's that. It's about joining together of minds. In the background, you've got a pyramid, another symbol of 3 women, a maiden, mother, and crone, and the Sphinx, the symbol of mystery, a secret of some kind, right? So for my Virgos who kind of truck in secrets, so to speak, that's their currency in a lot of ways, money, sex, power, and secrets, then the hidden, the mystical, the occult, then this ends on a 3 of Blades and a things of really there's going to be a focusing of the mind somewhere. From this 5, I wouldn't consider that a backslide from a 5 to a 3, because this is microcosm, this is macro. This is more from a larger place of, okay, now we're really going to look at what the fuck is going on here, right? Like everything else goes like that, so you could go like that. Those are what the gods have laid out. Let's ask the angel. I could use some deep breaths. Let's do this. Oh, my angels, help me get the still point, please. Do this through me. Still point. Oh, my angels. Please, top 10 cards. Celtic Cross for this Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for February 2020. Really? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Maiden. Oh, no. I need a clean cut. I'm not trusting that. Sorry, I had to make a reader call there. One more time. My angels, please. Top 10 cards. Celtic Cross, Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. On the path of true love for February 2020 or timeless. Please. Top 10 cards. Thank you. Maiden. Mother. Crone. I like clean cuts. I just didn't say it. I like clean cuts and I cannot lie. Like if a card falls off or clings to my finger, I don't like that. Because I'm a Virgo. All right, we're going to start from the beginning again. Let's remember, you are the Empress in this Celtic Cross. Major Arcana card. What do the angels want to add to that? Intention. What do you want and why do you want it? Like I said, you got that that fecundity, that fertility, that Venusian divine feminine power of gestation. Really get clear on your intent. Maybe you are crystal clear on your intent, and certainly from your soul's point of view, the interior, the core of it, it's time. Maybe there is an intention rising within you. Now, do you understand there is a relationship between what and why in intention? It's not just what you want, it's why. The why is the engine, the what is the caboose, really. If you think about it, the why is the drive, like it's the fire. It's very much this like eight of flames energy, what's propelling it forward. So what's gestating inside of you as the divine feminine, the goddess here? Remember, regardless of your gender, male or female, your fire's building, your intention is burning, getting bigger and bigger and bigger inside of you. Just get really clear, not just what you want, why you want it, and be really honest with yourself. Oh yes, do not sabotage yourself thinking that you have a noble why when underneath that there's a shadow why. Because I just want to get what I want and I don't care. Because I'm hungry for this or that or this or that, but I'll tell myself that it's for a noble cause. And then you act all shady. Just because the coyote's here, that there's a trick here. So what do the angels have to say? I'm just going to move that out of the way. What do the angels have to say about that? Power. This is about a decision of empowerment. Okay, I'm going to tell you, go research The Saboteur Archetype by Carolyn Mace. If you have read Sacred Contracts, you already know what I'm talking about. I use the archetype deck of hers for a lot of the readings, not in this one, interestingly enough, but there is a Saboteur Archetype because everybody has the Saboteur Archetype. It's part of the survival family of archetypes: the child, the saboteur, the victim, and the prostitute. Everybody has them. Nations have them. Corporations have them. They are the trunk of the tree from whence all the other archetypal patterns we have, our soul contracts, are fed from. Because you have to learn how to survive first, the survival family. So that's a pretty big deal here. You're dealing with a life-changing decision, and believe me, it would not be on the table in your life, in your energy field, in this reading, unless it was time. It's time, and let's clarify that now. Wheel of Fortune. What's going on here, Spider Woman? New love. It's time for new love, a new love of self, a new love of life, a new love of another, a new love coming into your life, perhaps on the path of true love. All of these things are one movement. Someone comes in, you're learning how to love yourself, you're loving your life, but a decision must be made, and it is life-changing. But it's got to be about a new way of loving, a decision to love in a new way, or love something new. Love yourself anew. Because new love, yes, everyone's going to see it as like Cupid's. Yay, Cupid got struck by an arrow. A horrible means of dating. If you ask me, don't get me wrong, Eros is one of my gods, but they ain't all gold arrows. He's got lead tipped in there too, if you know the myth, if you know him. Right? Attraction and repulsion. That's all he does is bring people together with spirit, like Joining Circle Productions. But there you have it with that new love. It is time. If you are looking for new love, that's got to be within yourself. But if this is actually a sabotorial person in your life, then you're really going to have to choose, what would love do? Not necessarily hope that their potential shows up while they're abusing you. That's not what love would do. Love would say, all right, you got to go deal with you, but abuse, neglect, codependency, I can't do. That's a new way of loving yourself if you've never done it before. Just saying, had to do it myself last year. Broke me, but the only thing that really broke in me was what needed to be broken. Isn't that lovely? Afterwards, yeah. Let's look then at your fourth position. And what you've got here is the card of the learner. So remember, we said whatever this lesson is, it brought you into this very, very powerful major arcana triad. Now, there's no other major arcana going on here, which is kind of good because these three are quite the trio. So what clarifies this card of the learner? Okay, good. is friendship. So it looks like you have the lessons learned from friendship and friends to help you learn the lesson. It feels like both are true. Yes, for some in the collective, it may be one or the other, but for the majority of it, I'd say 85%, that always seems to be the ratio that I get, 85-90%, is that really both are true, that you have friends that are helping you through these lessons in the past, as well as you have learned many lessons through friendship and about friendship. It is both. So coming from that place, you probably have enough actual wisdom under your belt to get through this. You're probably a decent, solid friend, but then there's this new love coming into your life. Now remember, new love need not always be romantic. In fact, really look in here. Is there anything that's screaming sexual romance? Well, Scorpio, but you're a Scorpio. Otherwise, I'd say, you know, sex, money, power. But nothing here in and of itself screaming. But we still have other cards down. But that's the first card here that indicates a particular relationship structure, even if it's that you learning in a friendly way or perhaps learning to be friendly. You are Scorpios. I've always gotten along with Scorps, though. Remember this card of the Hurricane? It's time. Let's look at this Five of Blades. This is what's coming in, right? So far, we've clarified as what is and what was. Now we look at what's coming. What crowns you? Didn't I say Archangel Michael? Was that this reading? Did I say Archangel Michael? Maybe that was the previous reading. I don't remember. It's all a blur. It's all a blur. Archangel Michael coming in and saying, "Fuck." Archangel Michael is the angel of truth. Archangel Michael is the angel of divine will. He's the throat chakra. Really, these two together with so many thoughts in the air, find the still point and seek ye only truth. Look, Archangel Michael's not the only one. He's not the only archangel, but he's the only one in this deck. So I'm going to say to you that you got this card in this position. Really know that there's a lot of thoughts going on around you in this hurricane that are not really based in reality, fantasy based. Other people's fears, in other words, may have been true on a personal level at one point to somebody, maybe even yourself, but no longer are. That the classical image of Archangel Michael that most people know is with his foot on the neck of the devil in terms of the great deceiver, and he's got the sword of truth, right? So he's the truth, the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's Catholic iconography, Christian iconography, but particularly I learned it through Catholicism, where he's the one who vanquishes the devil. That there are some teachers that say Lucifer and Michael are the same being that were split apart so that we could have duality, lightness and dark, which I think is a good alchemical principle to look at some point, but, you know, probably not going to jive with somebody's religion if that's how you were raised. But there's something there about standing in the center and holding out for truth, asking for truth. I'm willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. That's one of those mantra cards. We'll see if that one pops up. Very, very interesting for what's coming in. Remember, sometimes people tell you things that aren't true, but they believe they are. The toxicity of well-meaning people. Keep that in mind. Just saying. Because it's moving you into this place of occupation and health. Occupation that affects health. Health that affects your occupation with that Virgo, sixth house energy with harmony. Good. So there will be balance. There will be harmony. Now what I love about that is Virgo is sixth house, and six, numerologically, is about balance and harmony. So at least you're heading to a place where no matter what the decision, empower, disempower, or hit pause, making no decision is still a decision, but it's a temporary, right? Sometimes what we're terrified of, we're no longer terrified of once we make the decision. It's like as soon as we make the decision, then we're like, oh, right? And that's what this feels like, that there's a new love going on inside of you, pushing you to empower yourself to decide for love. And there's a line from Course in Miracles, Holy Spirit, which is the collective of the higher selves. Holy Spirit, decide for God for me. Decide for love for me. So, yeah. Harmony, occupy yourself with harmony. It will heal you. Tricky shit, but that's the path to true love for you. Microcosm, again, very, very interesting. Let's look at your macro. The lesson involves a Scorpio. You are a Scorpio, probably involves you, but keep in mind with this Virgo so close by, merely just the card before, that there is a healing process in place, right? You're moving through that occupation and healing thing with harmony, or at least coming into it in the near future with the card of the lesson behind you. So you've got a past and a present, both indicating some sort of healing lesson, but you've got the Scorpio card, your sign, in the position of the lesson, number 7. What do the angels say? Enchantment. Something is not as it appears to be. Oh, geez, Scorpio, really? The sign of things hidden? So look, things aren't as they appear to be. The divine is at work in your life. This is now becoming a mystical lesson. I don't like enchantment. I really don't. I'm an earth sign. I want to know the tea. I want to know the truth. I want to Archangel Michael my way through everything as much as I can, though I am aligned with Archangel Uriel and Ariel personally, earth signs. But there is definitely something here about a deep enchantment, right? Well, you could say the idea that we're all one. It's not just an idea. It's atomic truth. It's a subatomic truth, right? E equals MC squared. But the glamour, the enchantment that we all appear separate, but we're not. There's only one quantum field. We're all manifestations of, right? But my favorite example of enchantment is what's on this card. Oh, it's a unicorn. Oh, I love unicorns. About 5,000 pounds of muscle with a deadly weapon on its head that can't be tamed but by a virgin. Where are you going to find one? Where are you going to find one that you can get to do what you want to do, right? No. See what's there, right? That's how I roll. But this also means that the divine is at work, that this is beyond perhaps your ability to see what's going on, because from the outside looking in, you've got this 8 of flames, this fast-moving, burning, passionate fire, right? Perhaps consuming and burning you out. What do the angels have to say? Then with retreat there, the Scorpio is pulling back, but how interesting that I said Virgo, because we do the same thing. We are the Hermit card, right? So pulling back into retreat. Good. Take time. If look, I'm going to say whatever you're dealing with here with this, this coyote, this decision, this trick that's going on, if you are really in it, when the hurricane comes, say, excuse me, I need to go find my harmony. I need to go find my happy place. I need to go find my stillness. I need to retreat because there's just too much going on. Remember intention here? It feels like from the outside people see you retreating quickly to get clear about what you want, or maybe even enacting what you want. This is going to go fast once the decision is made. I absolutely would retreat to really check in with your own deeper soul, because remember, there's a motivation. Perhaps the deeper why here is for new love, but you got to find that. Unless you already know what it is, still go in, contemplate, feel that out before. I never tell people what to do, but with the Scorpio card as the lesson position, yeah, don't rush into this. Don't. Take your time. Feel it out. No one has to be happy with your choices but you. That unravels codependence. Let's see if that card comes up. Because your destiny right now is that indecision about what do I want. Not necessarily what do I do. It's element of fire. What do I do feels more like the card of 2 of Pentacles. Right? That's more earth action into the world. This is what do I want? Do I want to put my energy here, or do I want to put my energy there? Do I want to stop, or do I want to go? Do I want to all part of this juggling of this kind of life-changing decision we got here, at least decision of empowerment and disempowerment. What the angels say about that? Soulmate contract. Now, let me clarify that. Soulmate and twin flame are both soul contracts. There is no twin flame contract card in this deck, just soulmate. So I'm going to say soul contract of some kind. Not whether or not you'll want one, but what do you want to do with it? You have to take this time and give birth to your intention, not just what, but why. That's going to be powerful. Like, for instance, if we could just tell day one, oh, you're a twin flame, we wouldn't last very long with them, right? We would say, all right, we're gonna teach each other to learn. You can't give me what I want. I can't give you what you want. All right, what am I supposed to learn here? You don't find that out usually until afterwards. Sometimes, if you're lucky, during, right? Because soulmate, you help each other heal. So here's a decision, something about your fate. There's definitely somebody that has come in, probably a new love into your life has come in. Now, it could be someone that's been in your life, but you love in a new way. There's also, could be loving yourself, sure. But with this soulmate card, doesn't feel like it's about purely loving yourself. It feels like you're being pushed and pulled on that. Right? You want to, but you can't, or you want to, but you don't know. It's that back and forth of a new love. It's contracted. Someone's coming in, or has been in, and it's new, but I'm feeling like someone has come in, and it is a decision of empowerment or disempowerment, or is it all a check? That's why you need to pull back and take your time with this. Yeah. Well, I think our outcome card makes more sense now in terms of focus. 3 of Blades. My angels, make it a good one. Study. Study. You're not ready for this. You're not ready for this test. You need to study. That's your outcome on this. Pull back. Focus on this. Study it. Like, not just, oh, I'm learning. No. Focus. Study. And I'm just going to refer one more time back to the 3 of Blades as the 3 of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. Not necessarily about heartbreak, but getting to the heart of the matter. Study the heart of the matter on this. What's really going on? Considering, I don't want to say what's at stake, but considering these 3 major arcana cards. You are the Empress. You have everything you need within you. The situation, the Coyote, a trick, a sabotage, but one that may have healing in it. Trickster archetypes aren't evil, they're neutral, but they speed up the learning curve usually, or catalyze it, slow it down, speed it up. And at the core, we've got this new love, this divinely timed new love rising up from your soul. Slow this down. Study. Just saying. With our Celtic cross fully displayed, let's get a whisper of love from your higher self. Please, nice deep breath. I'm going to put both feet on the floor. Oh, I needed this breath. Oh, that feels so good. Still point. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for this Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. On the path of true love for February 2020, please, my Ascended Masters, with all that's going on here. Please, what is the whisper of love for them, the higher selves of all involved? Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, February 2020. Interesting. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. This card has not come up in a while. Be supportive. Be supportive of yourself. Sure. Show yourself you care. Sure. Absolutely. But a really good thing in the meantime of really dealing with this, well, should I be supportive or not? There's a lot of power going on here in this situation. There's perhaps some truth that's swirling around. You can always be supportive with a healthy boundary, right? Make a genuine effort to show you care. To say to somebody, look, there's a lot going on right now. I want to empower you. I want to help you, but I just need things. I need a little time. I need to step back. I don't know that I can help you on this the way you want me to. Be honest at least, right? Again, it's not necessarily revealing your hands totally to say to somebody, I don't think I can give you what you want on this. What is that movie from? I don't think I can give you what you want on this. Oh, it's from a movie, a guy trying to get out of the mob, I think. I can't remember. Someone in the comment box, the comment section below. I don't think I can give you what you want on this. Be supportive. Very, very interesting thing there. And sure, there's that element of you taking the time to support yourself in doing this. But I think, again, it comes down to this, where you are right now. It's this Empress card. You have it to give, but you got to look at your intention. I have a feeling it's not the what that needs to be refined, but it's the why. It really is the motivation of it. Can you do this and be supportive? Because there are lots of ways to show that you care that aren't necessarily only empowering to other people and disempowering you. That might be what this lesson is about. It's an enchanted lesson, a mystical lesson of how to empower both people. There might be a touch of codependency going on here, particularly if a new love has entered. Like if really a new person has come into the script where suddenly you have a life-changing decision to make here. How do you be supportive of all concerned without hemorrhaging your own power? Scorpio issue for sure. Let's ask the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Come here, you. Ooh, there was a hidden card. Come here. Oh, I can't reach it. Because they're still new. These older cards, they're easy. They're warped. Aren't we all? Nice deep breath, my Scorps. We'll get this last card on the table and then we'll do your overview. Still point. My Ascended Masters of True Love, please, one card in clarity. For this Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Path of True Love. February 2020. What is the best healing mantra for them? Please, there is need of healing here. With just that Virgo card there, and then we got the Scorpio card in the lesson position. New love scripted coming in, and be supportive. A lot going on. That Archangel Michael hurricane going up there. The trickster right in the center of this with power, definitely pointing to a decision of empowerment or disempowerment. Letter gold, please. My Ascended Masters. That's the card. For the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Side, Path of True Love, February 2020. One side of this card is a mantra. The other side of the card is the name of the mantra. The name of the mantra is Inspiring Others, which is good. I can look it up in the book. The mantra itself, I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. Definitely works with this be supportive thing, right? You can acknowledge somebody's gift. You can inspire. I wonder if you're being asked to do something for somebody that may look like it's empowering them but disempowering you, particularly because there's a new love either coming into your life or rising up from within you with this Spider Woman thing. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Let's read what the book has to say. Inspiring Others. It's just a teeny tiny little paragraph, but I find them to be very, very illuminating. Inspiring others. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. When others are inspired, you allow them to take center stage and step into a greater acknowledgement of their personal power. When others are made to feel useful, they are likely to embrace more courageous decisions as their self-worth increases. Imagine the perfection of not having to do everything by yourself and infusing others with a greater sense of purpose just by asking for their help. And I think this retreat with burnout, that may be indicated there, that you might have taken on a bit more, maybe more than your share. And I'm sorry, they always say this to me, if you carry those who can walk, their legs wither. So there might have to be a little bit of a redistribution of power here in this decision. It's not a matter of feeling weak or being incapable. Instead, it's about realizing the gift of inspiration you possess simply by inviting others to be a part of your day. So it feels like there's a middle ground here, perhaps a third part of the decision. Instead of, darling, you've got to let me know, should I stay or should I go? It could be like, you know what? You really have a clarity that I could use, or I could really talk to you, or I could, start empowering people, inspiring them, because you're going to need something getting you through this hurricane. So be truthful about it, but certainly if you're only inspiring people with an ulterior motive, that makes you the trickster, screwing around with other people's power, their choices, and their decisions. The last little bit on this I will read you. This mantra is ideal for intimacy in relationships. right? Inspiring whether it's real. I really like when you do that. I'm very moved when I really like how, complimenting people being genuine. Resolving martyrdom, hello. Get off the cross, someone needs the wood. And communicating your needs. Inspiring others. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. Usually more comes out in the overview, so let's do that. We'll magic clap the picture up on the screen. Magic clap. Bang. We start off with you as the Empress, my Scorpio, with intention. Perhaps pregnant and gestating the what and the why, kind of bringing that all together little by little, but in a situation where there's the trickster, the coyote, with a power issue going on. So probably a powerful life decision, though one boiling inside of you, so it may not be, because you are a Scorpio, so obvious to other people. Now, looking at what's inside of you, we've got the Wheel of Fortune with the new love. So definitely it's timing. There's a divine time thing here, something written into the divine plan about new love from within you. This could be a new sense of self-respect, right? That's influencing or changing your intention, your what and your why, that is forcing eventually some kind of decision of how to deal with a sabotorial element, right, of power or disempowerment. Now, you've got this lesson in the past, right? The learner with friendship. So this might be a relationship that you have learned a lot from in terms of its friendship, but now moving into what's crowning the 5th position, we've got the Archangel Michael Hurricane, right? So a lot of truth, but also a lot of illusion, a lot of words, a lot of opinions, a lot of here it comes again, the toxicity of well-meaning people, right? So maybe there is a friend or a friendship or a bunch of friendships in your life that are kind of raining on your parade or giving you way more mental drama than necessary here. But for you to find the truth, stand in the eye of the hurricane until this all calms down. That brings you into what? The 6th position of Virgo. What's occupying you? What's healing you with the angel card of harmony? That it's taking all that you've been through as the dust settles and bringing things back into balance and harmony. Virgo is 6th house. 6 is a number of balance and harmony. We're going to roll with that on this, but because it's an earth sign, remember, slow and steady wins the race. If the decision has not been made yet from that, coyote empowerment trickster decision thing going on there, then definitely slow it down if at all possible, particularly because the lesson position has the Scorpio card. Hecate for me always is not just the goddess of witches, the goddess of crones, but the queen of the crossroads, life-changing decisions. Yes, you can always decide again later, but with enchantment on it, you might not even know how big this decision is, that it really is life-changing. Slow it down, go deeper. Because really, from the outside looking in, that retreat with burnout, it's probably that you've been kind of running on fumes to begin with, saying yes when your soul says no, when your body says no, when your schedule says no, but you still say yes. There's usually a form of dependency there, something unhealthy, and I see that we do that for friends, right? I do that for friends myself. I try and be very clear in my boundaries, but then there are times where my soul will say, no, go ahead and do it, they need it, and the energy is suddenly given by the divine. This feels like you're taking a retreat, and a fast one, or at least that's how people are seeing it. That might not be your experience, considering the lesson does have enchantment with it. Your destiny comes about through this indecision, this balancing of fire, Mahueha, the 2 of flames with a soulmate contract. Now remember, it may not be a soulmate, it might be a twin flame. Well, now that I look at that card, there are twin flames in that card. Twin flame soulmate, not the same thing. Go watch the video that I did about it, or check out Matt Kahn's video. Soul contract, soulmate, twin flames and soulmates redefined. Really big difference between the two. Bringing you to your outcome in this, which remember, the 6 and the 4, meaning the Virgo card and the 3 of blades there, are immutable, changeable, but I wouldn't change this. This brings you to a place of deeper study. Getting to the heart of the matter there, that 3 of blades, focusing the mind in order to study this deeper, which I just think is a really, really great idea, considering The path of true love is how we learn lessons. You've got the lesson card, and in the lesson position, you've got the Scorpio itself. Money, sex, power, other people's resources, mysticism, things hidden, and of course, your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus sign that you are. The higher self is talking about be supportive, make a genuine effort to show you care, which that might be a way of getting yourself more time, saying, look, no, I really care about this, but I'm in a hurricane right now. I'm a little burned out. I want to make the best decision I can. I want to be loving. I want to be wise. But I also want to be powerful. Love, wisdom, and power is the maxim we're shooting for. The threefold flame of the heart. Google that. And of course, you may not need to do this completely on your own because of this mantra, inspiring others. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. So if it just comes down that you're just exhausted, that you have to make a decision about whether to help somebody, to serve somebody, to empower somebody, there's that word empowered, or empower yourself. Remember, I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. And don't forget, you have your own gifts too, Scorpio, and maybe you need to focus on those for yourself and let yourself have some of those as you move into this Virgo card, perhaps of self-healing, occupying yourself with your own coming into balance and harmony for the well-being of all. It's a pretty good reading, my Scorps. Let me give you the blessing. May the Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, to make wise, loving decisions of empowerment, to allow this new love from within them that is destined, that is written, that is divine timed to rise within them as the Empress, giving birth to their intention that they may make it through this hurricane with the Archangel Michael of truth into the healing harmony, learn the lesson that only they can learn from themselves about themselves as they retreat, perhaps quickly to recharge, that they can balance what it is they really, really want with this soul contract, going deeper to the heart of the matter, being supported and empowering others by acknowledging their gifts, absolutely inspiring others as they go, all as the result of a friendship lesson in their path. This Scorpio should be a very good friend, no matter what anybody else is saying. They're doing their best and are only going to be more friendly to themselves as they go. Not bad, Scorpio. Actually, pretty damn good. Keep an eye on your boundaries. Keep an eye on your psychology. Reach out. Get help. And by all means, if you need a reading, reach out. I will be glad to read you. I do Skype, Facebook Messenger, and cell phone reads. Cool, cool. Unless you're local. And if you're near Riverhead, Long Island, I am reading out of Yogaholic there. Cool, cool. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. It was a pleasure reading for you. May you be blessed with all that you need as I sign off and saying truly, from my soul to yours, my Scorpios, hail, farewell, and blessed be.